runners preparing to make their qualifying runs. Gene Felton is out on the racetrack, and most of those IMSA championships are his. He owned the American Challenge division 4 consecutive years. He won the championship. Tonight we'll see how he can do in the Jag XJ220 as Gary and Larry call the lap.
Yeah, in fact, he has a couple of class wins in the 24 hours of Daytona and the 12 hours of Sebring. Began drag racing at the age of 15, moved to bikes at 20, and really was a late starter in cars. He started 28.
Yeah, he was a late starter, but he caught on quick, and he won a lot of races over the years. You know, it was interesting yesterday. He was one of the fastest 2 guys in the road course part of this circuit. He was really quick right in this section. He got into this, and we talked about the road racers getting in there, knowing how to downshift. It really helped, especially getting into that first corner right through here, very smooth, and that helps a lot.
Well, once again, the best time so far would be Guy Edwards at 34.068. Now, the fastest 4 will start straight up in the feature. Those that qualify 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th will have to go through the semi, and only the winner will then advance to our feature.
That's exactly right. He got a little wiggly there in both of the second and third corners going through that part of the course. Let's see if he straightens it out any. He's going to be trying a little harder, so he's going to be running in there pretty quick.
Lay that first lap down and go hard the second one. 34.868. 34.868.
Yeah, he's not going to be happy with that. He should be quicker than that. I think that little wiggles there down there cost him, because he was running through that part of the course at about 14.2 seconds yesterday. I don't think it was that quick that time.
The big difference, I think, Larry, from oval track and road course, a road course is so long you have some areas to make up for your mistakes. If you make a mistake on this oval section, you can't make it up. The track's too short.
Well, you can't make it. You can't make it up anywhere. If you make a mistake anywhere on the racetrack here, it's going to be big.
Wife Linda looking on as he turns in a 3.4320. So the second lap was quicker, but still he'll not be too happy with that. 3.4320. Right now, that is second quick. Third fast, third quick. But we've got some heavyweights to come. All right, let's set the field now. Once again, this is the 5-lap semi. Only the winner will transfer. And starting up in front, by virtue of the qualifying the fastest of these 4, Gene Felton in car number 3. Then it's Charlie Glotzback in car number 4, Bill Simpson car number 5, and George Snyder in number 9. They came down, they thought they were going racing, and we almost wiped out 3 cars in the first turn.
Dick Simon was telling me about Charlie Glotzback after looking at that feature. He said, I was at the speedway and Charlie Glotzback went around me going into 3, and he said, I don't think there's any way he can make it through that corner. And he said, sure as heck he didn't. He made a 360 and pulled her on into the pits. He
kept her going.
That's right, kept her on going. But
all right, once again, 5 laps. This is the Fastmaster Semi. Only the winner will transfer on to our 8-lap feature this evening. And remember, only 2 from our feature transfer to the championship on the 21st of August.
See if Simpson pulls his same move. He's down on the inside of Charlie Glotzback. Let's see if he can do that again. No, Charlie was on the ball that time. He didn't let him pull off that start again.
The IMSA champion, Gene Felton, leads the parade into turn 1. Oh, look at this pass in the back of the pack. Snyder going around Simpson. They're both out in the dirt.
That's Simpson down there running in the dirt. That's Snyder right behind him, following the leader through the grass.
Snyder tried to make the move on the outside. They both got off the pavement into the grass. They're back there in 3rd and 4th, but up there in front, there's going to be a good battle at the front of the pack.
Yeah, look, these guys are battling everywhere. This is Glotzback. He's following Felton through the corner. Glotzback's a racer, man. He came here to race. He says, I don't understand this road course part very well, but he says, I'm going to give her everything I got. That's what he's doing right now.
Oh, look at this little drafting down into turn 1. Now remember, Felton leads, but only 1 driver will transfer. Oh, Glotzback had some trouble negotiating that corner.
Well, he got a, he was trying something. He tried on the outside in that corner. He thought he might have a shot at it. Didn't work. He figures, I caught him once, I'll catch him again.
As we look out the back of Glotzback's car, and almost a straightaway back would be Simpson in the 3rd position.
Yeah, Simpson, after he and George Snyder got together, they got quite a ways back. It's going to be interesting to see now if Charlie can catch back up. He caught up pretty handily the first lap, but I think Felton knows he's there now. He's going to try maybe a little harder.
Well, perhaps Charlie should try something down in 3 and 4, tuck up behind if possible, and then try something down through the oval.
Well, Charlie's got to catch him first. Felton is, once he found out that Charlie was riding on his bumper, he sucked it up a little bit and took her on down in the corner. He's pulled away to several car lengths lead over Charlie.
Let's see how high the line is now. Oh, very high through 3 for Charlie Glotzback. But look at the gap that has developed. You're right. Felton has pulled away to a sizable margin right now.
Well, Gene Felton was very quick through that corner, through the oval part of the racetrack yesterday. He was very fast down there on that part of the racetrack, faster than a lot of the road racers that we've seen.
Well, there you can see Glotzback slides just a bit off the corner.
Yeah, Glotzback got on the throttle. Like you said, these turbochargers right there again. Those turbochargers kick in. They really will kick you in the pants, boy. And you got to be ready to catch that thing because it'll jump right around.
They don't have turbochargers in those stock cars, do they?
No, I don't think so.
That's the look at the battle at the back of the pack, if you will, but not a big pack, only 4 drivers, but there's the white flag. And this, to me, looks like an insurmountable lead unless Felton makes a mistake.
Yeah, Felton doesn't make a mistake. Here comes Simpson.
Simpson smoked the tires, and he is going to lose a position to Ziggy.
Well, you know, Bill Simpson was about as determined this weekend as I've ever seen him. He's been practicing. He's been running Legends cars. He's got a mechanic.
Been racing at Charlotte in the Legends cars.
He's got Ivan Bolton working on them things for him. So, I mean, he's serious. He wanted to come down here and do well, and I'm sure he's going to be disappointed. But he has nothing to be ashamed of. He's a great race car driver, and he's a greater person, really.
Well, Gene Felton takes the checkered flag, so he, by virtue of the win, will transfer to our main event. 8 laps. Take 2 from that to transfer to the August 21st championship and a shot at $100,000.
You know, the only bad thing about this whole series, Gary, is there has to be somebody that doesn't make it into the finals. And you know, Gene Felton, I'm glad to see him make it, but for the other 3 guys, I feel sorry because every one of them came here. They gave it their best. They worked very hard this weekend. I mean, there's a lot of heat. They came out here, they tried, they tested, they did everything that was necessary, but there can only be one winner. And I guess as race car drivers, we've put up with that all of our lives, and we know how that is.
Well, you said he dominated the IMSA series in the late 70s, and he was dominant here in this 5-lapper, so we'll see what he can do from the back of the pack, because that's where he'll start for our feature, which will comprise 5 cars and 8 laps.
Well, I think he was pretty disappointed with his qualifying time. He ran better than that yesterday, and he ran farther up in the pack as far as the drivers go yesterday, so I think he's going to be wanting to prove himself come time.
So Felton beats Charlie Glotzback, George Snyder, and Bill Simpson.
Back at Indianapolis Raceway Park, I had reason to visit Road Atlanta this week, and everybody down there said, be sure and tell Gene Felton we're all here rooting for him and want to see him in the feature. Congratulations, man. You made it with a great drive.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I would have rather have made it through qualifying, but I'll take it any way I can get it.
We know you were a little disappointed in your time trial lap. Now you got to start out back. Passing with these things is tough. What's your strategy?
That's okay. We'll just do the best we can. I'll be sitting back waiting for Unser and JR to tangle, and then we'll just go to the front, I guess.
That sounds like a prediction to me. When you came down for this deal and had the opportunity to race against such greats as JR and Unser and the rest of the guys that are gathered here, what was your anticipation of what this thing would be all about?
I said, oh my goodness, these are the greatest guys in the world. These are guys that I heard of when I was just a youngster. But it is a real thrill to be in. It's a real thrill to be racing against these guys. And I just hope we can do well.
One more question. You had Glotzback all over you for the first lap. Were you watching the mirrors? Did you know he was there?
What mirrors?
You didn't need the mirrors. You could feel him, I'll bet.
Didn't have much time to look at the mirrors. I knew he was back there, but, you know, we were just looking out ahead to see where we're going.
You're going to the main event, man. Congratulations to you. That is Gene Felton, the winner of the final qualifying round.
But there is a look at Bobby Yu. Bobby Unser, our quick qualifier this evening in car number 3. In second position, Johnny Rutherford will drive car number 4, Guy Edwards in number 5, Dick Simon number 8, and Gene Felton in number 9. So once again, the 4 fastest qualifiers, and Gene Felton, by virtue of his victory in the semi, will start in 5th position.
Look at this.
Look at this. A little cheating on the start here. It's supposed to be single file. Felton trying to...
Simon and Felton, both of them.
Green flag. Let's see what happens. Bobby Yu has the lead in the first corner.
I think Felton made a move and got around Dick Simon back there in the back of the pack, though, so they're racing already before they ever got to that first corner.
Rutherford rides in second.
Yeah, Bobby Yu's pulled out to a pretty good lead. That's Simon that's
Simon got snooker there at the start, and Felton went on by.
Yeah, he sure did. Felton came to race. He said he was going to give him everything he's got. He's doing that right now.
Guy Edwards rides in third right now. Felton fourth. Simon is fifth. But look at the gap between first and second.
Bobby Yu was so fast through the old
part. Look at Felton on the inside.
He's out breaking
Felton on the inside of Edwards. He takes third position, so he's moved up 2 spots now in just a lap, and he pulls up on the heels of car number 10, or car number 5.
Well, I can see why that guy won so many IMSA races. He can outbreak, but he really got in that corner. Let me tell you, that's a very hard corner to get into, especially for guys that aren't used to road courses, and I think that's where Gene has a big, big advantage.
You know, realistically, we had anticipated a good shootout for second because after practice yesterday, it appeared that Bobby Unser had been covered, but who would run second?
I think this bears it out. You see second, third. Look at Felton. He gets into that first corner very, very quickly. He's all over Rutherford. Rutherford better hang on. Oops, he's cut him off right there. Rutherford's got a mirrors and those things. He knows Felton's back there, and he's using up the whole racetrack.
Well, look at this. Down the backstretch, there's a good shot of the battle for second position. The second and final transfer position for our Fast Masters Championship on August the 21st.
See how much JR gained on him getting into 3. JR is much more comfortable getting into turn 3. He really pulled away from Felton getting through 3, and I think that was just because he knew Felton was there and he knew he had to press a little harder.
Well, race drivers like to find the limit. Last night, Rutherford found the limit about, what, 3 times in practice because he spun several times.
Look how fast Felton is through the chicane. Boy, he's right on his rear bumper again.
Look at Edwards. Edwards is closed in the 4th position.
Oh, Edwards got a little bit sideways over there and lost some. That's the reason he's so far behind right now. He tried to gas a little bit too much. That turbo kicked in and got him a little sideways.
About to complete lap number 4, so half the race now down, half the race to go. The battle is still for second position. Felton rides in 3rd. He's trailing Johnny Rutherford. That is the battle right there through the modified road course section.
Look how fast he is getting into 2. He gets through that first short straightaway and into 2 very, very quickly. And boy, oh boy, he really gains a lot of ground on Rutherford right there. But he does, Rutherford, on the other hand, down here in 3 and 4, or what we call 3 and 4 on the oval, really seems to pull away from it.
Well, that's what we really anticipated. A guy like Rutherford having the advantage on that section of the racetrack, a guy like Felton having the advantage down to the road course.
That's right, but see, Felton's kind of going to school. He's following Rutherford, and we're looking at Betty up there in the corner trying to watch this thing. But Felton's going to school. He's going to gain more. He's going to get more speed down there in that oval part of the race course, I think, later in the race.
Well, right now they work on lap number 6. Bobby, well, a foregone conclusion. He's going to win this thing right now because he has a half straightaway margin down the backstretch, and you know he's not likely to make a mistake now with that type of lead.
Well, nothing's going to surprise me in this series anymore, but probably he's going to have a victory because he's been the class of the field. He's really been fast the whole time. But right now, we're going to see if Felton can get his act together down there in 3 and 4 because he certainly has it together up here in the road course part of the
6 laps down, 2 laps to go once again. Gene closes in through this section of the racetrack.
Once again, he really gains on JR, getting into 2 and getting into 3 and getting off of 3. Right here, though, it looks like JR actually gains a little momentum. Seems like he gets through the gears better, gets a little bit of a gap going down the back straightaway, and Felton just cannot make it up. If he could ever get within a car length of him going into 3, it would really give a tough run down into that.
Well, there's the white flag for Bobby Unser. 1 lap to go. The battle continues to be for the second position. Only 2 will advance.
JR made a little bit of a bobble right there getting into that thing. That allowed Felton to close right up on the tail.
There may have been contact right there.
Look out, it's
Felton on the inside.
Oh.
More contact. And Felton spins.
Well,
keeps it going, and there goes Guy Edwards to 3rd position. A cloud of smoke, the contact. That's what we also anticipated this evening.
I tell you what, Gene Felton did what every race car driver in the world would have done right there. There aren't many chances. He had a chance. He stuck his nose in there. He gave it everything he had, and JR just came out a little luckier that time.
So JR goes to 2nd, and those 2 will transfer, representing the IndyCar set. Both of them with 3 Indianapolis championships. And they will transfer onto the championship as there is Betty.
You think it doesn't mean
looking on?
You think it doesn't mean a lot to make the finals here? I'll guarantee you, it means a lot to every one of those guys out there.
JR moves up to wave to Bobby, and you know, I think this is our first winner that's actually wave going down the backstretch.
I tell you what,
there's nobody on the backstretch to wave.
Guy Edwards, Gene Felton, Dick Simon, well, everybody here could be very, very proud of themselves, man. This is great. I love to see it. Look at this. He comes in there. Rutherford makes a little bit of a bobble. He says, this is my chance. He stuck his nose in there. It's exactly what he should have done. He had no choice. But he just got a little bit more sideways. Rutherford gets sideways too. Look at him up there at the top. He's sideways. Felton was just a little bit unluckier. He gasses her and says,
that was close to a double pirouette that we saw a couple of weeks ago.
Hey, man, they're going to put new tires on that baby for now. Bobby Unser is one of the classic guys. Look, here's another shot of that. He gets a little sideways. Felton just, look at it. He's off the gas. He's back on the gas real hard. He just tried to muscle his way in there. He didn't have any choice. That was his best chance, and he took it. He had a shot. It just didn't quite work out, man. That's what I'd have done if I'd have been his shot place, I think, too. Keep on gassing or burn up the tires. Nothing to lose now.
Let's talk to the guy who was involved in a terrific battle. Johnny Rutherford, first, congratulations for making it through to the final round, but man, it was a skin of your teeth deal the last lap.
Yeah, it was, but it was fun because I could see those guys back there hammering on me, and I didn't know it was Felton. I thought it was Edwards, so I wasn't paying any attention to names and numbers. I was just standing on the gas the best I could with the car I had, and it was a lot of fun, great fun.
You've analyzed some racing. Take a look.
Yeah, I slipped there, and I thought, oops, here he's going to be. And then he poked her up inside of me, and I gave him the old sprint car punt. And, oh, I didn't know he went all the way around. That was a good one, Bobby. Look at that. He kept going. That's great.
You missed some of it.
Yeah, I didn't even see that. I was figuring he was going to challenge me down at the other end, and I was going to have my hands full, but it worked out right.
You obviously felt the lick and knew what you had to do. How close did you come to losing the car?
Well, I'm sure just about as close as he did, because I got sideways and I was in the throttle at the same time trying to get going, and it came loose, and it was busy for a little bit. But, you know, it kind of goes back to the old sprint car days. You just crank some in it and stand on it. But it worked fine, and I'm glad Bobby and I are going to be able to help Parnelli with those road racers now and the drag racers. You know, us oval racers have got to stick together.
And Johnny Rutherford. Well, let's get the story on that last lap from the guy who almost made the championship round. We'll go to Dave Wilson.
We're down here with number 3, Gene Felton. And Gene, when you didn't, well, actually, we just heard from Rutherford. He didn't know that was you behind him, dogging him. You didn't know that was JR in second spot, the transfer place. But when you saw him bob a little bit down there, what were you thinking?
Well, I figured we're just going to try to get around and go to the front. I knew we had a long way to go and a short time to do it, so I had to go for it.
Now, you did go for it. You bumped there, and then you did that power 360. Was that as much fun as it looked?
Well, I did pretty good with my eyes closed, I guess. I was going under Jay. I knew it was JR, and I figured every lap, if he could get into that corner, by gosh, I could get into it. So I was following him, and I knew this was the last chance to do it. So he went a little wide going on to the banking, and I got a little dirt on the left and a little clear spot on the right, and I went for it. And I'm sure he didn't see me, but he cut back down on me. But that's racing, but it was a lot of fun. The car was great. The whole weekend's been just one tremendous amount of fun.
When was the last time you had this much fun, Gene?
I can't remember that long.
Well, he's had a great time, and I think everybody has here with the Fast Masters. Right now, a happy Gene Felton are going to send it right back over to our buddy Dave Despain.